My name is Richard Thompson, and I was born on August 19th of 1991. The month of August, and very particularly this year, was a very important time. Life for me was just beginning, but life for everybody else was about to change. In 1776, a man named Tim Berners-Lee was graduating from Oxford with a degree in physics. In 1980, he began working with CERN. His contract was a short one. He started in June and was working till about December. In that time, he proposed a system of languages for computers that allowed the computers that the researchers in CERN used to talk to each other. It was rather simple. It let the computers share research notes between the researchers as well. With this language, he was able to create a network of computers that allowed researchers to easily share these notes. And after his work was done, he left the company. In the year 1984, however, he rejoined CERN again and began working where he left off. His project was a simple one, at mind at least. In the reality, it turned out to be a little bit more complicated, as things usually are. The CERN networks were fitted with certain protocols that allowed them to talk to each other. It allowed the nodes within the network to speak within itself. It was a basic fitting of the internet, and at the time, it was the largest internet in Europe. Having individual internet sites was great, but what if we could have all of the internet sites talking to each other and strung together at once? Berners-Lee thought this same thing. And in 1989, he drafted up some ideas for a project and started working towards that goal, creating it to become a reality. The name for this project was the World Wide Web. Now, there are some key differences between an internet and the web. The internet is a group of computers or servers kind of working together to share data and information within the same network. Usually only the nodes on the network can access the information on this internet. The web, however, is a system that lets people on any internet server talk to any other internet that they want to, using certain protocols, certain software, certain hardware, things of this nature. Tim Berners-Lee also thought of these protocols as well. So there were a few things required to have the web work properly. He built what was required, the HTTP, an HTML, which is Hypertext Markup Language, a web browser, a server for the HTTP, and also a web server to allow the web browsers to function properly as well. With the proper software and the hardware accounted for, the first website on the World Wide Web was launched on August 6th of 1991. Now, it was a simple website. It described what the project was about, it gave basic information, and it let people know kind of what this was striving for, what they wanted the end goal to be. It also let people know how to contribute, and it also included the phone number to get in touch with CERN in case people had more questions. It also, the popularity was phenomenal. It sparked huge uproars, and by 1991, the first web server was online, and in 1992, there were about 10 web servers. Not much of a jump, but in 1993, 1 year later, there were about 50. So it went from 1 to 10 to 50. And then by 1994, the number of web servers raised to about 620. So in that time, the popularity absolutely skyrocketed. And now, by today's standards, there are close to 1 billion web servers alive and running. And this is all thanks to the innovations back in the 80s from Mr. Berners-Lee. So the invention of the internet may very well be one of the most important inventions of the history of our world. The access to the information we now have is absolutely vital. Being able to look up anything you need, research any information. In fact, all of the information that I've provided with you has all come from the internet as well. The amount of information that we now have is absolutely integral in just about every part of our society. There are so many things that we are able to accomplish now with this wide string of information. And living in a world without the internet in this day and age is something that would be very hard to think about. And we owe all of that to Tim Berners-Lee. And it was because of his innovations on August 6th, 1991, that started the foundation for the world to truly move forward in a very phenomenal way. Thank you.